for an oil change, and the repair shop says, yeah, you need about a dozen other services. Well, Brian Bowersock, West Escondido Auto, says that long list means maybe some of the services have slipped through the cracks, or maybe someone's trying to rip you off. Brian, set the record straight.
Absolutely. Good morning, by the way.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Glad to be here.
It's very frustrating. It's happened to me many times. I go in, and I'll be honest, I don't know a ton about cars. I know to get my oil changed and get my services done and fill up on gas, and that's kind of where I tap out.
Correct. Number one, the first thing obviously we want to stress is you should be going to a quality repair facility that you can trust. Then obviously you're not being recommended things that you don't need for your vehicle. And if you're going to ask me, does that happen out there? Absolutely, it does. We get consumers that come to us all the time. Been someplace else, things been recommended, we look at them and say, you don't have an issue with this, you don't need to do that.
So that's really, I mean, it happens a lot, and sometimes you definitely do need those services. So, you know, what's the fine line? How are you able to really tell?
Well, what we do is we break them up in three kind of categories. Number one is safety. Obviously, things that could affect the safety of you, your family, other people on the road with you. Brakes, things coming off a vehicle, stuff like that. Safety items are very important, and those fall number one in recommendations for, hey, and often we'll bring customers in and we'll show them, hey, this is what's going on with your vehicle, and this is why this is so important. So we want to address those first. Number two is other things on the vehicle that are going wrong that could harm more things and cost you more money in the long run.
Right, because sometimes if you don't get something fixed, that's just a domino effect for other things.
Correct.
And you have a show and tell. I love this because as a non-car person, this really, when I see the visuals, I think, oh, okay, that makes sense to me.
Correct. What we've brought here, I brought there's a brake shoe. It's actually worn out. It's almost to the rivets. A good time to catch brakes before they go eat into the drums or cost you more money.
So the brake shoe, that's that horseshoe.
The horseshoe-looking thing is a brake shoe. Yes, absolutely. We have examples of clean and dirty fluid here. That obviously that's a maintenance issue, and that's the third issue I was going to talk about: preventative maintenance stuff that can prevent issues down the road. Those are sometimes, obviously, some people are in an economic situation right now, and we work with all kinds of consumers, and we'll make recommendations. You really should have your tranny serviced. If it's not affordable right now, you could wait an oil change or two, but let's put it on the recommendation so you keep it in mind, and that way you can kind of figure it in financially.
So at West Escondido Auto, basically you're saying, you know, we recommend you do this, but if financially you can't right now, just get X, Y, and Z done first.
Correct, and that's how we break them up for all our consumers, just so everybody's well aware. But find a quality facility. Get explanations on what people are recommending to you, you know.
Right. Sometimes, you know, people will say, you know, you needed a 43C1259, and just talk to me. Just, you know, say it in plain English.
Yeah, you really shouldn't. I'm not here to train anybody, but we don't talk to customers that way. We typically explain what's going on, and quite lengthy to what kind of damage it can cause or what safety issues may be. And then if they still don't understand, we often have people come down and take a look at what's going on.
Great. And prioritize. I think you explained that well. You know, if you need to get something done and you can't do it right now, what's the number one thing you should do? And obviously brakes are just, I mean,
brakes,
you need brakes.
Anything safety-wise, tires that have cords sticking out of them, obviously you don't want to blow a tire on the freeway. Things that could hurt you, your family driving the vehicle, or other motorists around you. Those are number one importance, absolutely.
If you go to a shop and they tell you you need a bunch of things, is it always good to get a second opinion?
It depends on if you've been going to the facility, they're trustworthy and all that. Ask them questions, have them break things down for you. If you don't trust the people that are giving recommendations, then yes, absolutely, get a second opinion.
Okay, well, I trust you at West Escondido Auto. I'm going to bring my car to you anytime.
You got it.
Thanks so much, Brian. Good to have you on today. Still ahead, a live performance from local musician Jason Ott. He's got Zeppelin in his blood, man.